Even though this isn't a gaming channel, I must admit that I love playing racing games. In recent years, I've been enjoying Forza Horizon 5. I'm quite excited for Horizon 6, so in this video I wanted to mention 10 things I'd really like to see in the game at some point. It annoys me that non-playable traffic cars can use their indicators, but playable cars can't. I know it's a small thing, but sometimes I want to drive like normal traffic in between events. Besides, working indicators aren't just found in simulator titles such as BeamNG, but even in a 20-year-old arcade-style game, World Racing 2. Considering the vast amount of customization options at Forza games, I'm rather disappointed that interiors are completely ignored. After all, since some players, like me, regularly use the cockpit view, the interior is just as important as the exterior. I really want to be able to choose interior colours in the game. Forza offers all of the factory paint colours, so why not all the factory interior colours? Most real cars are offered with several wheel styles from the factory, but cars in Forza can only have one OEM wheel style, whereas you can choose a litany of custom wheel options, including some that are just plain weird. Seriously, who actually uses these styles? I'm sure many more players would like to see other OEM wheel options as well. It would be really nice to have some more officially licensed mods from real-life tuning companies. Plus, some of the world's big-name tuners have been doing exactly what Forza players love to do, making supercars out of almost anything. For example, BMW tuner Alpina shoehorned a V8 into an E36 and put twin turbos on an E34. The biggest factory tuner is Brabus. Their most iconic product is probably the EV12, a Mercedes E-Class powered by a modified Mercedes V12. They also made the MV12, an M-Class SUV with that same engine. In 2007, Brabus managed to fit a twin-turbo V12 into a C-Class and called it the Bullet. Forza does already offer vehicles like this, such as the Hennessy Velociraptor 6x6 and the Mercedes-Benz AMG Hammer, so it would be cool to see some more. I'd also like to see licensed upgrades from these tuners, such as aero mods, exhaust systems, and wheel styles. I find it annoying that some cars disappear from the franchise after just one or two appearances, while others are constant features. I'd like to see cars from previous titles returning, such as the Lamborghini Halpa, Lamborghini Jarama, Alfa Romeo 75, Oldsmobile Hurst Olds 442, and Mercedes-Benz C32 AMG. Speaking of which, being a huge Mercedes fan, I'm quite disappointed with the Spartan selection of AMG cars in Forza games. Since Mercedes-Benz is really big in Japan, this needs to change. The BMW M3 has had direct competition from AMG for almost 30 years, with the C36, C43, C32, C55 and C63. The BMW M5 has also had competition in the form of the E55 and E63. Sadly, only a handful of these cars appear in Horizon. The games have every generation of M3 and M5, so why not every generation of AMG C-Class and E-Class? Plus, let's not forget AMG's other dream machines and rarities, such as the SL73, whose engine was used in the Pagani's Zonda. Even an SL600 would do for me. Furthermore, before AMG was part of Mercedes, the official performance-tuned Benz was the 190e 2.316 Cosworth, an iconic car that really deserves to be in more racing games, but keeps getting overshadowed by the Evo 2. This manufacturer is conspicuously absent in the Forza franchise, which is a bit strange, since other games have included its cars. Skoda has been heavily involved in rallying over the decades, and considering the new rally events that have started appearing in Horizon, it would make sense to include some Skoda models in Horizon 6. I'm putting these brands together because they're GM's middle children, only one of which is still with us. All of them have made iconic vehicles over the decades. The GSX and GNX aren't the only cool Buicks there were, which may be a shock to some people. Buick has made a few other interesting models, such as the LeSabre T-Type, the supercharged Regal GSX, and the LS-powered LaCrosse Super. Buick is also responsible for the 3800 V6, a descendant of the engine used in the GNX. The supercharged version powered cars such as the Buick Regal, Oldsmobile LSS, Pontiac Grand Prix, Pontiac Bonneville, and Holden Calais. This engine has a sizable aftermarket scene and lots of potential for high-performance builds. Forza's Oldsmobile selection is quite paltry, which is a shame. After all, there were several generations of the 442, Hurst Olds, and Toronado. There's also the Cutlass Supreme Coupe, available with a dual overhead cam V6 and a 5-speed manual. I personally think it's one of the best looking cars of the 90s. It's probably getting more recognition now, since YouTuber Legit Street Cars bought one and made some videos with it. For the Mexican market, Oldsmobile offered the Cutlass Eurosport, basically a Cutlass Sierra with a body kit, sportier suspension, and a 5-speed manual. On that note, it's worth mentioning that Oldsmobile was part of the history of the Carrera Panamericana, which was even mentioned in one of Horizon 5's stories.
The winner of the very first Carrera Panamericana was Herschel McGriff, who drove an Oldsmobile 88 at an average speed of 88 miles per hour.
Why didn't Horizon 5 have that Oldsmobile 88 in its car selection? For a game set in Mexico, those two cars would have fitted in perfectly. Real missed opportunities there. Pontiac also made lots of great cars over its history, so it would be nice if Forza had more than just Firebirds and GTOs. Pontiac also made the 6000 with an all-wheel drive option, the Grand Prix GTP with the supercharged V6, the G6 GTP with a 3.9-litre V6 and a 6-speed manual, and of course the legendary Fiero, which has a massive fanbase and endless potential for engine swaps, one popular swap being the supercharged 3800. I'm quite surprised that Forza doesn't already have a Fiero, to be honest. Considering that Horizon 6 is set in Japan, it would be a colossal mistake if the game didn't have a decent selection of cars that were exclusive to the Japanese market. One company that deserves a place is Mitsuoka, famous for its retro-styled models. Their best seller is the Vute, a Jaguar Mark II tribute based on the Nissan Micra. Then there's the larger Galio, my favourite being the first gen, and the massive Lisade and Dore two-seaters. They also made the Rockstar, an MX-5 made to look like a C2 Corvette. They currently offer the Civic-based M55, inspired by Nissan Skylines from the 70s. And one of my favourites is the Buddy, a RAV4 made to look like a Chevy Blazer, with taillights from the Cadillac ATS. Japan's domestic market didn't get Lexus until 2005, and it never got Acura or Infiniti. The cars were available though, just badged as Toyota, Honda and Nissan models, such as the Toyota Celsior, Toyota Altezza, Honda Legend, and Nissan Fuga. Some of these JDM versions were unique. The Toyota Aristo could have the same twin-turbo 2JZ as the Supra, which the GS300 never had, and the Nissan Leopard J4E was available with a 4.1-litre V8, which Infiniti didn't offer. Mitsubishi had a collaboration with AMG in the late 80s. Yes, AMG, the Mercedes tuner. They produced the Mitsubishi Debonair V3000 Royal AMG, which only had cosmetic upgrades, and then the Mitsubishi Galant AMG, which had an AMG-tuned engine. Another unusual collaboration resulted in the Mazda Road Pacer, a rebadged Holden Premier powered by Mazda's 13B rotary engine. Lastly, I can't resist mentioning the Nissan Racine, a retro-styled crossover with a trim level called Forza. When it comes to collecting cars, Forza is a game of two halves. For some cars, you have to pay real money to get them, which kinda stinks considering the price of the game, or play for hours to earn a backstage pass just for one car, whereas you also get random cars given to you for free through wheel spins, which you earn just by starting the game. There is no in-between. As a result, players end up with a garage full of cars they're not keen on, while cars they really want are very hard to get. I do like the idea of working to unlock the cars you love, since I grew up with older games where you had to do that. But some of Forza's cars are unobtainium. In fact, a few of them are completely unavailable except when Forza offers them very briefly as playlist rewards, which can also be hard to earn. It would be really nice if Forza could stop filling our garages with unwanted cars and make it a little easier to get our favourite ones. To be honest, I'd like to see the wheel spins disappear for good. Well, there you have it. That was my wishlist. Hopefully the development team pays attention to what the fans want to see, although I'm not getting my hopes up too much. In any case, I'm really looking forward to exploring the Japanese scenery behind the wheel of some great cars. My channel mainly focuses on real-life cars and their history, so if you like that sort of thing, feel free to check out my other videos. Thank you for watching, and I might see you again.